We back up in this bitch.
If they wanted to take it outside in the parking lot, the ex-wife and her homegirl would have been well within her right to put a little beat down on the mistress.
Oh my
Hey,
god, I just want to get on this mic and talk to my girl.
We still got some fucking ninjas out here that don't know no
mm-hmm.
better.
How dare you? You think that it's appropriate to take a woman, a young woman who is still a minor, and put her in front of the congregation to apologize?
Him, he just a ninja. I mean, he was cheating from the door. She said it. He didn't give a shit about nobody but himself.
We might find out some shit tomorrow that we had no idea. So I'm just gonna sit and wait.
Listen, something don't smell right to me, but I'm going to mind my business. But I'm not because I want to know what y'all think.
So stop acting like, oh, we're not taking handouts. Bitch, you are a handout. You taking our money.
Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to Three Aunties and a Mic, the grown. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Rewind. The podcast about grown folks ish. Boom. There we go. I am your girl V with the T. I have with me weekday with the everyday drama and Miss Bookworm with the read. What's up, ladies?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, hey,
How
hey.
y'all doing? What y'all been up to? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Ooh, it's that cold up here.
Yeah,
Mm,
it
It
did
it
get
listen,
cold
turned
this.
today.
spring and it was cold, but while it was at the tail end of winter, we were having beautiful days. Now it's all back to being nippy, and I got an attitude.
Well, it was 80 degrees here, and there's so much pollen. My gray car looks yellow,
Wow.
No, we're not there
like the
yet.
whole
Nope.
car.
We nowhere
And
near there.
No, we're
yeah.
not there yet. Thank
Mm-mm.
God.
So even though the weather's beautiful, I can't go out in it because I'm gonna be and got another sinus infection. So I'm like, nah. I'm gonna just sit
Yeah.
here and look out the window.
Hibernate. Just
Yeah,
hibernating.
just for a little
But you
bit
know
longer.
what? It's coming. And what we did last week is we had this big tree on the side of our driveway, and that tree was giving us the business come, pollen season. And with this crazy wind and how these trees are being
Hmm.
uprooted around here, especially after so much rain, and then the ground is saturated, and then here comes this wind. I That is one of our biggest fears, is that the tree is going to fall on our house, and it's going straight for our daughter's room. So we finally have that tree cut down, which was about 80% of the pollen that was surrounding the house
Hmm.
and our surrounding area. So I'm hoping that will help out this year with our allergies and things of that. But
Yeah.
ooh, I don't
I
know.
keep asking my neighbor. She has the tree is closer to her, but on my siding it's this green bullshit. I'm like, could we cut down the tree? Well, sis ain't never got no money, so she's like, well, I can't afford to cut down the tree. Okay, bitch, let that tree fall on my house, and then you'll have a different conversation that we all need to have once that tree falls the wrong way. So I mean, I have trees in my backyard that I really want cut down, and it's expensive to get them cut down. It's not cheap. But sometimes you gotta think,
No, it's not.
yeah, you gotta weigh out the good and the
If
bad of
that
that.
tree falls, if that tree falls and
Yeah,
damages, that's a
that's a
bigger
bigger
uh
expense.
that's a bigger cost. That's a bigger
Yeah,
cost.
yeah. So
I
I
just I
understand.
say bite the bullet and yeah, get it done.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just having somebody come and tell me the estimate. But like I said, she's saying it's not bothering her. I'm like, girl, I don't know. You might be getting termites. You never want to treat that close to your house like that because
Is she
that's what
getting the
caused.
green stuff on hers as
Yeah.
well?
Oh, child's terrible. Well, her siding is
But
terrible.
that doesn't bother her.
It doesn't bother her. She said, oh, when my father came and power washed, listen, I'm okay with that, but that's not helping my house because as it's
Yeah.
swaying and whatever, and it's like I think it's more like a pine tree or something. It's not really like I have a pine tree in my back and I have a regular tree, and listen, at this point, and then my neighbor on the other side of me, on the other side of my fence, I done had a conversation with her. I said, "Well, your tree knocks over my fence. I don't even want you coming back to my house talking
Hey,
about it
that
because I just
that's
expect you to do the repair, baby. That's all we're gonna say about this. You know how I
Listen,
do.
yep.
we're not gonna go down a rabbit hole, but I will
No, we're
say I
not.
was reading something the other day from this realtor. She made a good point. She's like, people are always saying, "Oh, well, if you got $2,000 to spend on rent, then you can have a mortgage." But she was like, "You don't think about the additional costs that come with having a
Nope.
mortgage, like what y'all are talking about, like having to tear down a tree. Like a tree
That
fell
was
in
an
our backyard.
$1,100 cut.
But I
Yeah.
just think that people
Yeah.
say
And
that,
so I
but
think that it's I always think that it's important to just kind of to recognize that, right? Because yeah, maybe you can't afford $2,000 in rent, but can you afford to maintain a home? There's a big difference between the
I,
two. Cuz I mean,
I
me personally, I can afford my $2,500 in rent, but I can't afford no hiccups along the way that month too.
I'm
So
just
for
not gonna give
me,
nobody my money. I feel like this. You're just giving somebody else to make them richer, and
I mean I
for
mean,
me,
I
it's
get
an
that part
asset.
as well, but I mean,
But
you
I,
have to
I
weigh your pros and cons as far as your income goes, and I think
Yeah, but I think
sometimes
that people
we forget that part.
misunderstanding,
Yeah,
misunderstand that you don't repair on your house every day. Like we're talking about this
no, you
tree.
don't. You
That's not an
don't.
everyday expense that we go and say, okay, every day that I gotta make a repair to my house, and that's where people misunderstand it. No, it's not a bunch of repairs, and
But
if you're saving some
I
money in the
disagree.
back,
I disagree. And the reason I disagree is because no, there's not a repair in your home every day.
no,
But
Mhm.
when you think about the amount of money that you've put into your home because you've had to repair something versus when you rent, there is a huge difference. When you compare that year's worth of spending that you had to put into that home versus the year's spending that you had to put into a rental, if you cannot afford that, you probably shouldn't purchase because then you're going to have a situation like you have with your neighbor who's like, fuck this tree and the green stuff growing on it. I can't
Mhm.
afford to get it cut down. And there's probably stuff in the house she can't afford to get done. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I understand the whole tax breaks and you know you owning stuff and you're not giving your I get all of that, but I think it is and I know we're going down a rabbit hole, but we're
yeah,
going to circle
we're
back,
gonna
but it
let
was
that go.
Hey, it's
but the
okay.
reason the
That's
reason I
okay.
bring it up is because it was when y'all were talking about it, it made me think about that article that I had read this week, and I think she made a very valid point. And she was a real estate agent. She made a
Oh
very
yeah.
valid point, that you have to not only be able to afford the mortgage, but you also have to be able to afford the upkeep of the home and the unexpected things that come with that home. I mean, since I've lived here, it's been a year. I think these homes that I live in, they're not 20 years old. So they're less than 20 years old. I've had to replace a water heater. A tree fell on the house. We've had to replace a dishwasher. Do we have to replace the stove? I don't think so. To replace a dishwasher, a water heater, and a tree fell on the house. That happened within the
Ooh.
first year that I lived here. If I owned
Ooh.
this home, that would have been on me.
I
And
think this is a good conversation though. Wait, because we are catering to nieces and nephews. What about they are trying to make a decision on and they're trying to see. So I think this is actually good from someone who rents versus someone who buys. I've never rented. I've only owned, well, I went from outside of my parents' house into, buying. So I, I don't have anything to, I don't have the rental to compare it to.
mhm,
Weekday, did you ever rent
Yeah, I rent
before?
it.
Oh, okay.
I rent.
Okay.
I've owned three. This is my third home. I've rented
Okay.
probably three. I rented when you started. I started out in an apartment, and then I brought a
Okay.
home. Then I moved to Delaware, brought a home. Then I left, rented, and then I've rent ever since. And then up until the last 5 years, I've owned. And
Okay.
my feelings on rent is that yes, when I bought my first house, you ask those questions in the information, like how old is the stove, how old is this, that, and the other, so then you would know, yeah, I need to put money aside for that. My point, and I'm going to leave it at this, is that I think that people buy above their means.
There you
first
go.
off. And that's the
There
That's true
you
biggest
too.
go.
problem. And that's
That's
the
Yes,
true
biggest
too.
problem.
I agree with
But
that. I agree
Yeah.
with that
I I agree
wholeheartedly.
with that too, but I'm also going to throw a dagger in that too. I agree that people do buy above their means. However, comma, the way the economy is today, you
Well,
can't get
today,
but
yeah,
so much
yeah.
for your buck. I mean,
Yeah,
let's
well,
just
to
be
be
honest,
honest
the
with you,
cost
But
of
we're in a
housing,
certain age group
age
now,
group.
so let's go
Yeah.
back to when
So,
we
but
were.
let's, yeah,
Yeah,
but let's be honest. People buy above their means. Someone tells you you
they
can afford a four hundred
they
thousand
do.
dollar
They
house,
do.
and
they
the
go
reality is
for that. Yup,
you go for the full 400,000 when you are going to be house poor, and you're right, you won't be able to make those repairs. That's the first
Right.
thing. I can assure
yup,
and tell you that yes, I could afford more home than I got. I did
right.
this because I needed to stay in my means so I could be able to, if something were to happen, my house is 13 years old. So I know I have people come out to do daily inspections and checks to make sure, be on those plans to say, okay, how long do you think the hot water heater is going to last me? How much longer do you think that, the heater is going to last me? Because when you buy a home, all that stuff is on the form. Like it
Hmm.
tells you they have to give you all those disclosures, right? I think that people the problem is that the average home buying is $400,000. Most people can't afford first of all, your income can't afford
Right,
$400,000. A lot
right,
of people don't even realize that normally your income is how they take it is three times your income. It
right.
determines how much your house you can afford to buy. And then they start chipping away from that as they see that you have credit. And if you're 30% um on the side of not having 30%, you're 30% into having too much of credit. That's your max. Like they max you out. So you should have 28% should go to home, right? Your home expenses of whatever you make. But if you're at 30% with credit debt, then you're upside down in a way. So then that's where they consider. So what I would tell people, yes, I agree with you. Some people just need to rent because they can't really afford to buy at this time. But I would tell anybody, for African Americans, we keep telling people, oh, well, you should rent, rent, rent. But this is the only way we know how to build wealth. And that's where I want to leave that at in that conversation is that we're not building wealth any other way. Unfortunately, yes, we can work every day for somebody for years, but most blacks and African Americans build wealth by owning and by having property.
I couldn't put my damn
And
glasses on.
that's
Yep.
really why I say that.
And I definitely agree with that, that is definitely a way to build wealth. And I'm not saying that you should not own a home, right? That's not
Mhm.
what I'm saying. And that you should not own property, because I do believe that to build wealth you need to own some multiple properties. But um what I'm saying is that no, I don't agree that you shouldn't own a home. I just think that sometimes I feel like the way that folks talk and encourage you to purchase homes, and they don't really have you look at both sides of things.
Yeah, they
And
don't
it
tell
was
you
it
the
was
whole
refreshing.
story.
Right, it was refreshing to hear this come from a real estate agent, and she was like being
Hmm.
honest, like, this is what I've experienced in my career with this, and that we should stop encouraging people to do something that we can clearly see ain't gonna work for them just because we gonna make some commission.
Hmm.
And so that's kind of where I'm going at. Like, yeah, definitely. If you can own property, you want to build some wealth. Absolutely. I'm not saying not to buy property. I'm just saying that I think that it's important for people to think about that and to not always just be so quick to down somebody that rents, or
Absolutely.
downplay renting because, oh well, you spending this kind of money on mortgage, I mean on a rental, why you ain't got no property. There's more to it than just how
Oh,
much your
definitely.
Oh,
mortgage is. And so
I mean,
that's
yeah.
really all I was trying to say, is
No,
that
I
and
mean,
I'll
renting.
I'll add this to generational wealth. When when we've been in this house 20 years. I'm gonna tell you, 20 years ago, I wasn't thinking about no generational wealth. I was just thinking about, we're
Having
buying a
somebody
home
live.
together.
Yeah.
So I say kudos to them I'm sorry, to those who are actually thinking at what age I was, and you want to buy a house for the generational wealth, that's awesome. Kudos to you, because that was the furthest thing from my mind, was building generational wealth. We just had to get a house. We needed somewhere to live. So yeah, this was a good one. I enjoyed
Yeah,
this was
I mean,
cool.
Yeah, yeah, I have nothing. I mean, I rented before, so and I rented because I wasn't at the time when I rented for the second time was because I was definitely my credit was upside down. I was not ready to. It wasn't that I didn't have an income. It was that
That's another thing.
those things make a difference. And all I'm saying is that if you're not ready to do it, you definitely should not do this because you're going to be highly
It's a
disappointed.
lot involved.
It's a lot.
Ugh.
And I think the other thing is that people don't do, they don't go and take the and free 99 people are classes that teach you about home ownership. And you should do that first before you start to even think about going down that path. And that's the one thing the person should have said in the real estate person that you have read, because people don't go and people don't want to learn about the fact that maybe I should walk away from this after you've gone through those classes and found out what this is really about, because it could be an eye opener at times not to know what direction you're going in. How much money do you really need? How much money do you have? Do you know how to do the negotiations? Do you know all the integral things like renting? Yes, I didn't have to pay the water bill or the sewer
I
bill, but I
do.
still had to I
I
still had to
do.
pay my gas and electric.
Child, and I
Yeah.
I
I
pay it
do on the
all.
rental
Yeah.
property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, so so those kind of things that you gotta find out on the rent side. Well, what am I paying for? Am I paying your HOA fees? All those things do matter because there's still expenses that a regular homeowner puts up with, but also as a renter. And what I will tell you, the other thing I didn't like was that even though they send somebody to make the repairs, girl, they be putting some band-aids and some bubble gum to repair a lot of stuff. They don't want to put the money into reinvesting and getting a new, like the stove. You're at the Sears scratch and dent buying a new stove for me when you
Hey,
know
hey, hey.
in
We
another two
put that
years it's gonna die.
Miss Bookworm was like, "What you not gonna do? You gonna listen, but you not gonna judge on this here podcast, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with a little dent and they work right. When you turn that knob,
child.
it come on, right?
Wait. My husband is the open box king. Point me in the direction of the open boxes, please. He don't play that. He don't want to see nothing in the front. He want to see what you got back there. That got a couple of scratches that I don't give a shit about.
Listen, I'm with Miss Bookworm on that one.
That is
So
the
yeah.
story of our lives over here.
That's funny. But yeah,
All right. Well,
it
that
was
was
Woo! What
that
we
was a good
talking
that was
about?
a good
yeah, yeah.
segue, or not segue, but that was a good, like, we
Sidebar.
yeah, sidebar. There you
Yeah,
go. I will say to this nieces and nephews though, whether you rent or whether you own, the
You
best
better
piece
be
of
happy to
advice
have a
my
roof over
mother
your mouth.
gave me at a very young age when I went off to college and all them folks was trying to get me to get a credit card was to keep your credit right. Pay
hmm
your bills on time, don't overextend yourself. And that was one of the best pieces of advice that she gave me at a very young age. So I am passing that on to y'all,
that's
nieces
right.
and nephews. you know she got a credit card, and she had a credit card that she had in my name, but it was her credit, her credit card. She would put some money on that card, pay that card off, built my credit. So, shout outs to her because that was fabulous. And she's, doing the same for my grandchildren because
Yeah, you got to watch your debt
they don't
ratio,
want to
and
use
that's
my
what I'm
credit
talking about.
cards because see what had happened was that was good advice back in the day, but then real life kicked in, mama, and girl had to
Yeah, that
had to
debt
max out a couple
ratio.
of them. So
That's what you want to
yeah.
watch, that 30%. That debt ratio. Once you hit over 30%, that means that you are maxing pretty much everything out. And
Everything you got.
let me
Hmm.
tell you, they're not kind when you're spending every dime. I mean,
But
That's what brings down your
when you
credit.
have a
Right.
great credit score, there's pretty much
Mm-hmm.
not anything that you
Yeah.
can't do in America.
Exactly.
Not a
Yeah.
thing.
So,
Thing.
Not anything.
that to
Check your
me, out
credit.
of whether you rent or whether you own,
Yeah.
it
Check
don't
your
make me
credit.
no never mind. Make sure you got your credit straight. And then
Mm-hmm.
you can do whatever it is that you choose to do, whether you want to own or rent. Because you can't
Yeah.
rent with
Right.
bad credit either. You're gonna be over
No.
there in the hood dodging
Mm-hmm.
bullets. So, at the end of the day, that's number one.
Exactly. I agree.
So, all right, let's see what we was about to get into. What we was
Wow.
gonna get into today. So, first of all,
Mm.
speaking of dodging bullets,
Ooh, child.
let's talk about y'all's favorite president and his administration.
She.
Okay,
Our
I'm trying to
president is Barack
understand.
Obama.
What you say? I'm gonna go
That's
back to
what world I'm
2008.
living in. That's the world my brain is.
Still in 2008.
That's all right. That's all
Listen,
right. That was before his
listen.
hair turned gray.
This is the thing I don't understand. Working in corporate America, and you ladies can you know understand this. There are certain things that are on the hush that you don't put
Yep.
in writing, that you call that person for, y'all go convene in somebody's office about. I'm trying to understand. Forget the fact that y'all done added somebody to this group text. Why the hell was there a group text to begin with? Can somebody help me understand how you are talking about war plans dropping bombs in a freaking group text? Make that make sense to me. I feel like y'all should be in a literal war room where there's no
I,
cameras, there's no electronics, hell, there's no windows. It's a door, one
Mhm.
door in, one door
That's
out.
it. That's it.
Like, I'm confused as to how we even got here. And then y'all are gonna sit here and try to deny it when they done said that no, these texts are, and he hadn't originally dropped the text messages, but then y'all want to sit here and lie on this man
And
and
he
try
had
to
to
act
do
like,
part two.
yeah, he only did part
He
one so far. He hasn't even showed you all the texts. He said because
but
some of them are really, really that would be
but the
detrimental to
fact that
the
he
government.
had to even drop a single text because y'all
Yeah.
gonna sit
right.
here and try to play in this man's face when you
Right.
know the type of shit y'all done done. He said y'all found out about the bombs at 2 p.m. I found out at
Yeah.
11:44.
45. 2 hours after they told me it was going to happen.
Like
2 hours after they told me it was going to happen, they said within 2 hours. He said I was there.
Now, what
I
if they had added the wrong person
yeah.
yep.
to
No,
that
they
thread?
did.
No, I mean they did, but I'm saying like a wrong
Yeah,
person,
somebody
meaning
that was
somebody that didn't have some morals
so
about
that's
them.
right.
You
That
know what
would
I'm
be
saying?
false treason. That
Somebody
would be
that
form treason. Yeah.
right, somebody that didn't have some morals about them, somebody that was out to get this administration, somebody that was out to get the United States of America. Because who knows who the hell y'all got
Child,
in y'all phone,
Yeah.
whose numbers
it
y'all
would
got in
have
y'all
been
phone.
so bad. It would have been so much worse than what we're seeing now. And we haven't even seen the worst of it. So, yep,
The man
we
has
haven't
not
even
dropped
seen the
all
worst.
of the messages. First of all, Signal is used, and I don't want to help my nieces and nephews out, but Signals is used. That application is used for cheaters. Okay. Uh, no, seriously.
Yes.
You got side chick. You got side dude. You would use Signal, and you want to know why? And this is the most egregious part of this: is that it erases everything that you do. Now you're talking about espionage. You're talking
Mhm.
about things that are
Mhm.
happening that you're going to do on a military side of how you determine about the country. This is secret. This is top secret shit. And then you delete it. It's against the law. It's against the
All
espionage
day.
law. That nothing should be deleted when those conversations are happening. Now you talking about Hillary with the servers at her house with the damn
Chop.
email. Come, girl, listen. Let me tell you something. Who cares? We all, first of all, email is not as egregious as you guys are having conversations and dip somebody else in the meeting. Do you know whenever I have a teams meeting, we say, everybody, could you tell who you are? Let's do a damn attendance. Nobody did attendance because that
It was
fucking
a
pig.
text thread.
Yeah, but no, but they were also
Who
in a
even?
meeting.
But why are they
No,
discussing
but it doesn't even.
any of this
But they could
on a
visually see. They
text?
no, but they could visually see each other. So I'm saying you can see people on the text. So you're gonna tell me whenever somebody sends me a group text. First of all, I hate group texts. Don't send me no damn
Yeah,
group
so
text.
yeah.
I really don't like that. I mean, unless we're talking business, all these group texts and you want me to do 20 prayers and shit. I have no time for that shit right now. Don't be sending. That's you're wasting my text. Listen, you're wasting time on my phone. That's you're building up. Nah,
Weekday is
don't
not a
take.
team player, y'all.
No,
She's
no, I'm not a
she's
team
not a
player
team
like that.
player.
But I'm gonna say
Me,
when the text
listen, me and
comes,
Miss Bookworm alone got like 10 group text
no,
messages that we're
no,
both in
no,
together.
But
no,
and we're speaking on two different threads at the same time.
nah,
All day,
nah.
every day.
So y'all, so I'm gonna tell you truth. I'm gonna ask everybody. Cause I know who's everybody. Let's take attendance. Who's on these texts? Because I want to be careful what I'm saying. I could be insulting somebody. I don't know. You know how I come and how I do. I might say something and people like she was real out of pocket. That's why I said, please take me off the group chat. I don't want to be a part of them because I might say something out of pocket and I don't know if I'm offending somebody because I don't know who the fuck you are really. But P Hex said, okay, let me tell you about what you need to do. Stay away from the J's. JD, JW, and whole fucking say. Because this is why this shit happened. You up there drinking.
She crazy.
Okay,
She
Jack
crazy.
Daniels should
Whole
not be
fucking
Jack
say.
Daniels,
Jack
Jose
Daniels should not
Cuervo.
be sitting right next to you. Jose, JC should not be near you. Jose Cuervo. And damn sure Johnny Walker should be somewhere else. This is not the
Red,
time.
blue, or black.
That's right. Red, blue, or black. This is not the time, sir. And you know what? I'm even gonna add another J y'all don't know that a lot of people don't know. He probably taking them into J, the other JB, Jim fucking Beam. Stay, keep your ass away from those alcoholic beverages, sir. Water,
Now,
H2O.
the reason that this happened is because, and what's her name? Oh my gosh. I was so glad to hear her voice. I forgot her name. She said it so well. You have a president whose first government position is the freaking president of the United States. He's incompetent. I'm just gonna say that. No, maybe I shouldn't, because they out here taking people, whatever.
Okay,
I just said it, it's out there.
fine.
I can't take it back. But then he's hired all these people that don't
These
know shit
clowns.
either.
Mhm.
And y'all are getting together and just talking about war and serious matters on a group thread, a
Yeah.
text thread. Like,
But he wasn't
Yes.
even on the thread. Did you know he wasn't on the thread?
no, he
Because
wasn't on the thread.
Yeah, JD
But
Vance said I don't think he knows what's going on. So then he went to slam him on the thread.
JD
JD
Vance is
Vance,
on the thread.
yeah, but he
Yes.
said something about the president. He was like, I just don't
On
think that this is enough. He wasn't in a full agreement on the thread. The guy showed the thread because Whoopi Goldberg said, "Didn't y'all see my cousin said?" Because the man's name is Jeffrey Goldberg. She said, "My cousin gave y'all the receipts." I hollered. She said, "My cousins gave y'all the receipt. You didn't see Jeffrey give y'all the receipts." But I'm just saying, yeah, JD Vance was against this, but they were all in a group thread. And I'm sorry, people, even though that guy was silent and that guy Mike Waltz, whatever the hell his name is, you need
Mhm.
to be fired. And you keep trying to act like
He
we
All
needs to
of
listening.
be
them.
fired.
All of them.
Yeah,
And
all
what's
of
his
them.
All of
name
them.
needs to be fired.
Pete
And the
Hegseth.
one that
All of
what's
them.
the one that got up there and said that there was no war stuff said through a text, and that's all I'm gonna say. What's that man named Pete? What's his name?
Pete Hegseth.
He need to be
The drunk.
gone.
The drunk. He needs to be gone.
Yeah, he
He
Because
need
should
to
he
be
be
fucking with
fired.
them
gone.
Jays. He fucking with them
And
Jays. I'm
and the
telling
other
you.
one, Mike, whatever his name
Well,
is. Y'all know I don't know
he
no
needs to be
names.
gone.
Y'all
He
know
needs
I'm
to
the
be
just
gone.
hilarious of the
And
group,
And
y'all.
first,
and
I don't know no
the
and they
names.
all
Tulsi
need,
too. The
yeah, and
Tulsi
Tulsi,
chick.
but they all need to be charged with perjury because they sitting
Yep.
in front of
They
Congress right now in their
lied. They
committee
lied.
and lie
Lied.
and said we
Lied.
don't know. The man said, "Let me drop some more of these fucking. Let me drop some more seeds for y'all,
They
motherfuckers. I
lied
got
so much
receipts.
yesterday that he
Yes,
had to
there's
drop the rest
yeah.
today.
He had to drop the
Well,
receipts for
more.
you. More, because
More.
he said
Mhm.
he's not going to
More.
drop the one that really talks about there was another part of what they wanted to do, and he's not going to tell that because that's really telling. They would tell that would tell the world what our plans are when we talk about war. But you put not only did you put our young men and women in danger. This is bigger than this whole oh you just did a chat. No efforts. You put these people's kids, our kids, in danger, our children in danger with this nonsense that you don't understand. And you are trying to say, and Tulsi Gabbard, you're trying to say, well, first of all, they shouldn't have never voted your ass in. So we're talking about. Let's go back to
That
the
part.
DEI. All right, DEI. These were the fucking DEI hires. Okay, there's no question. These incompetents. It's unbelievable. That man. First of all, the minute that y'all voted this felon in, because I'm going to say it. I don't care about it. You's a felon, and that doesn't change anything. You are a felon.
Those
You're
are
a criminal,
facts.
and so you bring
Yeah.
in more criminals, more potential criminals into the office because that's what you did. You brought more potential criminals. We got Elanius Muskie, who's on them drugs. I mean, like we got drug addicts here. We got drunks. We got
We got them
rapists because
all.
not gonna say the word. We got rapists. We got people that are, that are in cahoots with other countries taking bribes. Come on, this is the biggest fucking clown show I've seen in years. This is definitely a clown show for the ages, and now we need to be in their necks about this one. This is huge. This doesn't change that. We've
It's
heard all the
big.
crazy. This is big. It was bad enough that you sent those people to Venezuela. That most of those people were not even criminals. The
See?
majority of them had not even gotten their due process, and you sent them away. That was horrible. To a country that we will probably never see these people ever again. To the worst country in the world. But now you are sitting there acting like y'all sitting back at home on your lounges, and Pete is drinking, and y'all talking about war, and
Mm.
different places. You know, y'all not even in the same place deciding to make determinations on
And
war
let's
that
talk
can
about
impact
this
us. This
too.
is bigger.
Not only is this going on, while all of this is going on, the president of the United States claim he
That
don't know
guy?
nothing about it.
Yeah,
Don't
because
know
he was getting
nothing
his
about
diaper
it.
changed.
And
He
my
was getting
thing
his
is,
diaper
this
changed.
is my thing. How are you in the top office and don't know what's going on around you?
Mm,
Right.
Nobody's briefing you. So either you lying or you
He
need to work
is.
on who you got in this administration because somebody should be briefing you on the shit that's going on in your house, sir. That's number one.
let me tell
Number
you,
two,
we
not
knew he was never
only
going to run this country.
hold on, not only that, but all of this shit is going on, and you talking about men that want to be women will never be women. What the hell does that have to do with all this shit we got going on in this fucking country? If somebody want to be a woman, let them go be a fucking woman.
Yeah.
Why does it bother you? I am so confused as to why this is the topic when you got group text threads about war plans being thrown out here that you claim you don't know shit about. And
It's a diversion.
thirdly, can we also talk about the fact that this is not Elon Musk country? This is the United
Mm-mm.
States of America. Why the hell are you putting tariffs on foreign cars? That is not going to make us go buy no
25%.
damn Tesla. I'm telling you now, we still not buying that shit. Okay? Have you seen what the hell we doing at Target? We not buying that shit. Give it up. The hell?
Ass
I'm sorry, y'all.
backwards. This
I
whole
digress.
thing is ass backwards.
These are
And
diversions. They've been
well,
robbing us and stealing us since the day they came in. So I keep trying
yep.
to tell y'all, they are robbing us. The country is getting robbed blindly, right in our face. They're playing in our face. They're robbing us, and they're doing all these diversion tactics so we don't see the robbery going on. That's all it is. And this guy, and I once I find his information, I'll send it to all of you. He talked about each day that every time an executive order comes up, there's some kind of fraud that's going on in the background. This is the biggest
Yeah.
fraudulent um presidency ever. This is we're being robbed, and people, we need to be alert. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I'm April 5th. I'm not coming out, so I mean, y'all can handle that, right? Y'all got that, because on April 5th, y'all, millions of people are supposed to be marching. We're gonna sit our black asses out on this one. This is
Oh, we
y'all's
are?
America. Yes, we are. This is your America. You
I
know who
didn't
I'm
hear about
talking
that
about.
one.
Let's go back to the 8.5 by 11. This is your America.
Ho, ho.
That's right. Hurry
Make
up and
sure
get
I don't
them.
have nothing on.
That's right. Yep. Yep. Okay. You guys handle this. We'll wait and you'll report back to us. But yes, April 5th is supposed to be this whole, millions of people are going to come out and march and protest what's going on. I mean, these people are crazy. First of all, I'm telling you, I have to say, Auntie Maxine, she's much older than us, and she came out. My great Auntie Maxine came out and said they're trying to start a civil war, and I do believe that. I
Oh,
believe that
yeah.
this shit is not going to be good. I forget what representative that they called his phone, and them people, the voicemails was off the chain. The voicemails were off the chain. I mean, they went from a zero to a 1,000. Like, you know what? They started out, can I talk to a representative, whatever? And somebody leaked that. And the question we all need to really start questioning is, where are these leaks coming from? Because there's been a lot of leaking up in here in this presidency. I've never seen this many leaks before, and it's been a lot of leaks, a lot of hot mics moments, and everything. And we need to question somebody in the administration. But when they leak that guy's information,
Uh-uh.
I can't be.
We ain't going to question them. Let them keep leaking it.
They
Let them
they
keep
leaking.
leaking it.
They
You know what
leaking
I'm
some
I'm
information,
hoping for a disgruntled enough employee to
girl.
just
I don't
to
know.
just clear out all the
Delete
student loans on
the
their way out
student
the
loans.
door.
Delete it. Delete it.
I'm
Somebody
just
was saying that.
I'm putting that in my prayers every night, y'all. Like, just
Boop.
get so mad that you just hit that button. I know there's a
Well,
button.
you know that student loans are going to SBA. Guys, give me 1 second. I gotta handle some business. Somebody's calling me.
Well, my thing is the way they beat Hillary up and that whole Benghazi scandal with the emails and things like that. This is the Dems' chance to get in there and get just as loud and start fighting back, and do not let this die down. Don't let this die. I hear that the judge that has been assigned to this is the one that Trump has a problem with, or Trump was very outspoken on. And as far as he's concerned, he went as far as saying that Goldberg is a bad guy, is a very, very bad guy. He's bad for the country. And now it's being that they're trying to put the narrative out that he hacked in to it, like we just
Yeah.
didn't see that he was invited.
Well, this is the
That
crazy
that's
thing.
I'm like, what?
Somebody talking
You
about they're
gotta
gonna get
be kidding me.
they're gonna
First
get
of all,
he talking about he gonna get Elonius Muskie to come and figure out how this guy got on. Sir,
first of all, he's a journalist. He is not an IT
no.
tech, IT developer, software engineer. He is a freaking journalist. Come
He
on.
ain't know
You
what he
can
was doing.
clearly see in this text thread where he was added and who added him.
That's
Cut
right.
it out.
First of all, this is not even a hack job,
And
guys. I'm
and even
in
if it is a
IT.
hack job, listen, even if it is a hack job, why the hell are y'all having this conversation via text?
But first of all,
Which
this is not
brought
a
me
hack
to my
job.
first point. Why are you discussing these types of conversations, these types of details, weapons, locations? That is such, oh my God. It
It is
blows my
appalling. It
mind
was appalling.
You
Let me
can't
tell you.
erase it, right?
that
You're
you're
not supposed to
right.
delete anything. So
Nah,
now this
that's
shit
right.
is stuck on your personal device
Yeah.
forever.
Didn't they learn from Eric Adams? We just had this happen in New York City. Same thing. What are you doing? You think that these messages are disappearing? They're not.
No,
They're
well,
not.
that's
It's
the
just
point that I want to bring to people.
one subpoena away from
Let me tell y'all something.
knowing
As
everything.
an IT professional, I've been an IT professional for years. And years ago, used to do system development and programming. I can
Don't
tell you
don't tell on
guys,
yourself, Weekday. Don't tell on yourself.
I'm not going to tell that part. I'm not going to tell that other part. But I'm going to say this to you guys. Everything we do goes into the cloud. I keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. Please believe because you thought you deleted those messages so y'all can say they weren't here. If they go and
Hmm.
contact those signal people and subpoena their asses, those messages are going to pop right back up.
One
Listen,
Every
subpoena. That's
text
all they
message
my
we
need.
do
daughter,
is in the
my
cloud.
daughter, thankfully is done, right? But my daughter had a stalker in college,
Hmm.
ex-boyfriend. And she had deleted all his messages. And the stalking got a little out of hand, so she had to go to the, down to the police station or whatever. They said if you give us permission, we can get them all
Yeah,
back. Her
that's
eyes
right.
was like this.
Yep. Yeah.
I said,
We
I done
get them
told
back.
you, don't put nothing in writing
Yep.
that you don't want nobody else to
That's
know.
right.
Now you believe me, right? Because when they pulled up every last text message that she had deleted between
Yep.
her and that boy,
Emojis and
Yeah.
all.
That's right. If you showing titties, if you showing penises, they're gonna see everything. I'm telling you guys, I've been in this business long enough. Nothing like right now. I'm getting ready to unplug Alexa because what is it in the next 2 days? Now, whatever you say to Alexa or anything you're saying in your household, they are now going to store in the damn cloud.
was probably
Oh
doing that
heavens.
already. I told my husband, don't be having that damn Alexa near me because
And that
I
bitch
can't
just
be
talked.
responsible
We
for the
don't
shit I
have it.
say.
We don't
I
have
have
one.
I have no filter and I don't have that shit in my room. You can put it in your little man cave, but it don't need to be nowhere else in my house because I don't trust
Mm-mm.
Big Brother and Alexa and none of them. Hell, I don't
We
trust
don't.
Siri, but she come
No.
with the phone.
Yeah, no,
But
but
I
I
hardly
mean,
use
just a
I,
few
I hardly call on her ass for anything. No.
just a
Mm-mm.
few minutes ago, she was just talking to me. As soon as I mentioned her goddamn name, I'm gonna plug all this shit. Let me
See,
tell
I
you,
don't
if they,
have those. I
you
don't.
you
I
can't trust it.
mm-mm.
I mean, because you're saying things and you don't know. And she's like, as soon as you say her name, she's like, "Hello, is it me?" Like, no, bitch, it's not you. Stop talking to me.
Is it me you're looking
Yeah,
for?
See, my high ass will be. See, that's the
Lionel
problem. My
Richie.
high ass will be running, walking around this house, and then something start talking to me. Ah, nah,
Oh
I
God,
don't need that kind of
not
problem.
only talking, babe. You gotta turn the camera off.
No, I can't be.
Yeah.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Yeah, people don't know if you have the ones where I have two of them with the camera on there. You gotta turn that shit off.
We
You gotta
Uh,
know.
just got a ring. We just got a ring doorbell less than 2 years ago. I'm telling you, we just. Oh boy.
Big Brother is watching. So to me, I I want to see how this really pans out. I am intrigued to see what really happens with this because some people's heads got to roll. Somebody
Yep.
got to
Oh,
go.
a lot
Somebody got to
of
go. Somebody
heads,
got to go. I mean, I'm being real honest because
plural.
this this
and
was
can I just say
beyond
this?
acceptable.
I'm gonna just say this. Listen, Jasmine Crockett is my girl. Y'all already know that. She got a mouth like mine, so you know how I feel about Jasmine Crockett. She say what she be what she say. What she said the other day was not nice.
But girl, it's
however,
me. I love her.
however, however, I'm trying to understand why y'all trying to hold her to the fire over this shit, but these people still got a job.
Mhm.
I'm confused as to why y'all trying to censor her, but y'all still got a fucking job.
See,
But
all a
that is what they've
distraction.
called him in Texas for years. So it's not like it's a new thing.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just new
that
to
is the
everybody else.
Well,
actual
I
Yeah,
nickname. That
I
is
know
his
yeah,
that
nickname.
yes, I know, but
Yeah.
like for her to say it where she said it for
yeah.
on the mic,
And
like we
she
just
being
talked
from
about this, right?
Texas, I don't think it should have been a problem. She's
Yeah.
from Texas. That's what he's known for in Texas. Let her go.
But
But
because of the climate right
I
now,
mean,
she
yeah,
shouldn't have said it in the
yeah,
in the in the in the situation that she said it in. Like,
yeah.
that's when you amongst
why
your people
not? Do you
because
hear what the man
because
of
this is the way that this is the climate right now. They are all
Shh,
about us. And
Yes.
this is proof of that. She says this and y'all ready to go do XYZ with her, but you
Mhm.
still
But
ain't said
Marjorie
nothing
Taylor
to
Greene,
nobody, about these damn text messages. I am so
mm-mm,
confused as to how people cannot see the difference.
The hypocrisy.
It's blowing my fucking
The
mind. I'm just like,
hypocrisy.
what?
We
Marjorie
will.
Taylor Greene gets away
Listen,
with
Yeah.
all she just
she's
told the
a hot ass
reporter to go
mess.
back to
Yeah,
where
I
she
saw that.
Yes,
came
Yeah,
from.
from the
I
UK.
heard
I
her.
saw that. I saw that too.
A
She told
reporter.
and so it was funny because the other reporter said, "Well, I need you to answer her question."
I know. And so she
Yeah,
still
right.
ain't answered the damn question.
He said, "Well, since you're from the U.S., bitch, it didn't matter. He wants you to still answer that damn question, U.S. or not." He said,
And
"I
and,
need
and
you to
speaking
answer
of
the
that,
question."
and we didn't get on to no topics that we was gonna talk about today. We just roguing right now, but that's okay. But speaking of that, I am so sick and tired of these Republicans, and I'm saying Republicans because that is really what it's come down to,
Yeah,
right?
That too.
Republicans versus Democrats. I am sick and tired of these Republicans acting like the only people that commit crimes in this country are from a different country.
country,
Mm.
which is a lie.
I am
Well, they
over
all
it.
are
And
criminals.
she said that, and she said that during that press conference when they were questioning her. She acts like the you taking people out of this country because they not from here is okay because they committed crimes. So what are you doing about the people that are from here that are committing
Yeah,
crimes?
a lot of them.
Domestic terrorist.
That's right. I was
What
going
are
to
you
say,
doing about
yeah,
the domestic
it's a
terrorism?
terrorist because that's been
And it's
here.
like that is there. If you get rid of everybody that's not from this country, that's here illegally, that's committing crimes, guess what? Our crime rate ain't going down but so
Mm,
much. Because there are Americans that's out here uh
walling out.
wilding out.
I
That's why
could
They
give you
they
I
stealing
I
be
could give
girls. They got
you
sex.
all of us can count on all of our fingers the school shooters,
that's right.
the church, the ones that shot up the church, the
Mm.
schools, the movie theaters. Oh gosh, it's been so many we can't even, we're numb to it now.
New Year's
They
Day,
was
New
all
Orleans, he
domestic
ran people down.
terrorists.
He ran people down.
Domestic
Nobody still talks about that guy in Las Vegas where he burned up that Tesla.
concerts.
Yep, that
Mm,
Tesla truck. We still on this Tesla shit. That's what's making me question a lot of what's going on here. I'm telling you, but I know well, you know me. I'm telling y'all, they robbing us. They robbing us blind, and we just sitting here paying taxes. And our tax money is not going to where we thought it was supposed to be going to at all.
never
Those,
was.
you
Nope.
know, those children that are not getting those lunches, I mean, excuse me, those school meals, that breakfast and that lunch every day, that is a crime in itself. 30% of those children and most of those and those poor states more than that were getting those school lunches and getting those school breakfasts, and those were the only nutritional value meals they had. So let me tell y'all something in the fucking red states, because y'all know about it and y'all should know about it. I'm going to send everybody a loaf of bread and some mayonnaise, and y'all going to eat some fucking mayonnaise sandwiches because y'all voted for his monkey ass. So y'all need to eat the mayonnaise sandwiches and accept it, because that's what poor people do. Let's just talk about it. Because you ain't can't afford no damn meat between that bread.
Mm,
And at this
mm,
point, your
mm.
kids could have had a nutritional meal. You taking away SNAP benefits. So how you gonna make that SNAP money stretch?
They
What you
told
doing?
us last year to eat cereal.
Oh
Remember?
yeah, that asshole from Procter. Yeah, yeah, I remember. I went.
Okay? That's
Well, I
what we're
never ate cereal.
supposed
I
to
stopped eating
do.
cereal a long time ago. Y'all don't even want to know
We were
why.
supposed to eat the cereal. That's it.
I know, girl,
That's
because
what
they
we were
take it.
supposed to do.
They're not gonna let them have any
Cereal
more sweet,
cereal
sweet
is part of the
fat.
WIC program. So if you
That's right.
take WIC away, how you gonna get your cereal? Because
That's
But
right.
cereal
when
ain't
he said
cheap.
it, but when he
Cereal ain't
said it,
cheap
he
at
wasn't
all.
referring to the WIC program. He was
Cereal,
referring to
right?
just
But
eat some
it's
cereal, y'all be all right.
But
Okay,
they,
so
but let me tell you something. Now they're saying that those people that's on SNAP benefits can't even. They're gonna take away so they can't even get snacks. No
see,
potato chips, no
see.
pretzels.
See, I'm telling you, it
Yeah,
is getting ready to be worse. It's
that's
this
it.
is civil. At this point,
It's
this is
civil. Yeah,
civil because everyone in that administration, them or their close family do not have to suffer like we are going to do.
Like that
We're
asshole.
not going to
If
be the
my
ones to
my
suffer.
my mother-in-law, who's 94 years old, that if she misses her social security check, she won't be concerned if it doesn't come. But only people that are frauds and thieves are worried and would call up about their social security check. Motherfucker, who the fuck you think you calling a thief and a fraud when I paid into this social security? 12.4% of tax money goes to what we call FICA. I remember when I was 19, I said, well, who the fuck is FICA? That was my first time working. I'm like, who the fuck is FICA? Because they done took up all my damn little bit of change. And that's when I was making $3.35 an hour. So we've come a long way, baby. That was in
It's sad.
1984.
Ooh, it's
Okay.
sad. It's
So now you're going to come and
sad.
tell me that since I've been paying since 1984,
Yeah,
how
they
many
are
years
telling
did I?
you.
41 years
Yup.
into this damn FICA, and you're gonna call me a thief? You're gonna call me a fraud? You're gonna say only people that are scam artists are calling about their social security?
They are
Well,
going to rob us and
that's
chuck
right.
the
Check.
deuces
Yep,
and take the first flights
that's right.
out, and
But
they're
we gotta worry
going
about our
to
elderly.
run away. And I'm telling
Yeah,
you, they're going to try to abandon
that's
ship.
right. Yep,
But Dems, this is your opportunity to be just as loud as they were with Hillary and Benghazi. You
that's
need
right.
to be just as loud. Don't let this die. Hold their feet to the fire and grill, grill, grill. They're doing a good job. I've watched bits and pieces,
Yeah, I saw the
for the
committee.
past few
Yeah,
days. They are riding them, and they're riding them hard, but you got to
yeah.
keep
Your
your
foot
foot on.
in their
Yes,
fucking neck.
you
Because
have
that's what
to.
and Target, just a reminder, we're gonna keep putting our foot in your fucking neck.
So y'all
Don't
want
get
to know
comfortable.
this my truth. I get these candles and this room spray from Target. It's jasmine and lang lang, y'all. It smells so good. Anyway, I was spraying the room spray the other day and realized that I was down to my last one. And I said, "Oh shit, shit about to get real." I go to Target and get my room spray. I'm
You
looking at
better
my little
find
candles.
out where.
I still got my little candles. I'm like, okay, I'm only gonna burn these on special occasions.
See, I've never been
Oh,
attached to any of them. Like I would go to Walmart to go and get groceries and things like
No,
that.
I'm not.
I've
I've
never.
never really been a Walmart person, and I've never really been a Target person. Like, I'm not
I'm
one
not
of those
either.
big store kind of people to begin with. But I don't like Walmart. I'm big on customer service, so that's why I've never really shopped at Walmart because they annoy me with the customer service. You got one line open. I got to check out my own groceries. I can't get y'all to open. It's ridiculous. So I hate Walmart, but I'll go in there if I have to. But I do go to Target when I need to go to a store like that. And I found these candles, and y'all, I'm really sensitive. So the candles are, essential oils, and Target distributes them. So that's where I've
mhm.
always gone to get them. And thankfully, I always buy them in bulk because my
Oh,
particular
okay.
scent is always selling out. So I go when they restock and I just pretty much buy them all and just have them at the house. And so that's when it clicked the other day, like, oh crap.
Yep.
I
I'm
never
That's
had
down,
true.
been a
I'm
party
down to
hard.
my last. And you should saw me looking at the back of the bottle, like, well, maybe it says something other than Target. It said, nope, distributed by Target. I said,
No,
oh,
You
I
better.
just
hell.
never. I've never
I'm
been a
not going
Target
in there though.
shopaholic.
I'm not going in there, y'all. I'm
So
gonna,
You'll
I'm gonna
find
be
a
all right.
replacement.
yeah,
You'll
you'll be
find a
fine.
replacement.
Replacement. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like somebody said about Amazon, they're like, "How could you just walk away from Amazon?" I said, "As easily as I walked into Amazon." Let me explain
We
something
go
to you.
back to
Amazon.
you got Etsy, you got
That's right.
eBay. All
You
of
got
I
eBay
mean,
was
but
eBay
out before Amazon.
before
Amazon.
Amazon was.
People keep
Yep.
forgetting Amazon was a distribution center. If you guys don't know, that's all they were. They sold
Hmm.
books,
That was
and
gonna
they
say it was a
distributed.
Books.
bookstore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
you got all
It
your
was.
college books, and
That's
they
right.
sent you a
That's
free
right.
gift
Frank
with it.
Cliff. Or
There
you
was a
sent them
little
back,
free,
and they
cute
give you
little.
money
Hmm.
back. They would
Yep.
give you money. Something they would sell your books for you. That
Yep.
really. They never was a bookstore. They were a distribution center. That is what their specialty is. That's why a lot of people they bring on like these small sellers. And somebody said, "Well, you could buy from them." And yes, I could buy from the sellers off of Amazon, but still, Amazon gets to pocket some of their money, and they get to pocket quite a bit of their money. If you guys would like to
Yeah,
know,
my husband
and
used to
so
sell on
yeah,
Amazon. It is a lot of
it's
money
a
that
lot.
they
Oh
pocket.
And the
boy.
requirements are very
Oh.
high for you to even be a seller and to maintain selling on Amazon. Yes.
Oh
So
wow.
you yeah, so and so if people really like to know, yes, the only thing that Amazon really is good for that they were smart enough to get was in the tech business and become and do AWS. Other than
Hmm.
that, their bread and butter was these small sellers using their distribution channels to get all the way through people. And I know I'm talking a little bit higher, but this is supply chain, right? So
Hmm.
they most of these people didn't want not like have to mail out everything out of their houses to whatever. They could say, I'm going to send it to Amazon distribution, it's going to send out. But some of the stuff that they can get to you immediately is because they brought those people's stuff out. They just outright brought them and was able to do so. Amazon used to be within 1 or 2 days. Now Amazon pull a
Yes.
bullshit on you and say, "Oh, well, it might take 3 or 4 days." What the fuck I'm
Nope.
paying for? I was paying for 1 to 2 days first of
That's
all in
it.
the beginning. So we know that. And I told somebody else. I said, because you can get it in 1 or 2 days. What difference did it make? What did you do before Amazon? What did we? Everybody keeps focusing on like these stores, like, oh my God, without them, what can we do? Guess what? The supermarket still sells shit. Yes, it does. It's going to continue to
Hmm.
sell things other than food, right? Yeah, they might be a little higher. Walgreens, CVS still sells shit.
The mall's around.
The mall is around. You still have these small mom and pops that we
Hmm.
refuse to go into because now we think we're too good for. They sell shit. The Dollar Tree, even though it's no longer a damn dollar, who just
Sure ain't.
sold, they just sold Dollar General yesterday or today for $1 billion. So they're separating themselves from that. They're still around. Listen, at this point, y'all better hold on to your money because guess what? Our 50 cents ain't going to turn into a dollar if we keep spending it. And they've already got us under a chokehold by raising the price of gas, right? We get ready to see taxes go to an astronomical high for the poor. And I know people say, well, why are you worried about the poor? I'm always worried about somebody else that's
You
that
gonna get poor.
because I could be poor because that's all they want to do. They want to move it from there's only going to be a class of poor and rich, and middle class will be taken out. And that's where we've been going in this direction, and that's the direction they are pushing us into. Middle class will not survive. And V said something earlier that is true. We need to watch our credit.
Hmm.
Don't get yourself upside down and you lose your job because most of us are living paycheck to paycheck. So
Hmm.
what do you do then? And we need to make sure. And so when I was saying the building wealth thing was a reason because I feel as though, and I will tell anybody, God forbid if my family member loses the place they live at,
Oof.
I'm going to make room for them to stay with me because we cannot just let ourselves go down. And that will happen to a lot of families where they will not be able to survive this as we start seeing this movement happen. So I am concerned about everybody. I'm concerned about my elderly, right?
Hmm.
My elderly family members who depend on their security check because that's the only check they're getting.
Yep.
And some of them are getting SNAP benefits and they are getting their Medicare and Medicaid. And
And
Medicaid, if
some
they
of them
start
have to
cutting it
have
out,
supplementary
that's right.
insurance.
And
Yep.
some people need they can't afford the prescription drugs. What do we do? Because they rolled back when Biden and Kamala had planned for that prescription drugs not to be so astronomical. I was reading an article when this young lady said my mother's insulin is $2,000 now. And she
Ooh.
said my mom said I'm just gonna have to do without because we can't afford it. Could you imagine
Mm,
the
mm,
likelihood
mm.
that she's gonna survive that?
And well, I mean, they don't. And I mean, when you think about it, before there was a cap on, certain types of medicine, that is what was happening. People
Yeah.
were
Yep.
dying because they didn't have medication. I mean, I know someone personally who passed away, pretty much got sick and got an infection and all of those types of things because he could not afford his medication. And there's such a stigma on that, and you feel uncomfortable calling and asking somebody to help you with your medication. Because I mean, if we felt like we could all even just join together, and here we go going down another rabbit hole tonight,
I
right?
know.
But if we could all just join together and say, okay, this medication gonna cost me $100 and I ain't got it. Well, if you got 5 family members and everybody give you $20 every month, then you got your medication. But there's such a stigma on things that people are afraid to ask,
Yeah.
and they're just going without because what can they do? They it's either eat or take my medication.
Hmm. Or
That's what
somewhere
it
to
comes
live.
down to, right? Or
And
somewhere to
that's why
live.
the
That's what it
Affordable Care Act was created. And then
exactly,
here they go trying
exactly.
to just because of who put that in place, they had to shoot that down. They had to dismantle that as soon as when 45 got in, that's the first thing he dismantled. Now here
Yeah,
he come in 47 as a 47 and look what he's doing again.
I mean,
Look,
when I had my
he's
first
fucking with the
child,
Social Security. He's fucking with
yeah,
Social Security.
yeah.
Initially, when he first got in as 45, look what he was doing to us then. And now it's Social Security. It he showed you what he was doing before, did it again, and yeah, it's going to affect the people in the rural areas and all of that, but damn.
This is how I look at it, right? There was a time, we've all are old enough to have been in politics, right? Long enough to know that there was a time where it wasn't Republican versus Democrat. It was more based on policies and different things like that that you maybe believed in over one or the other, right? But we saw that shift, and I personally feel like the shift came when we got a black president.
Mhm.
Um and then there was a female running for president. um
Mhm.
that's when this shift happened where it's really truly red versus blue, and I feel like it's at a point where the red are for themselves and themselves only, and what benefits them personally, whereas the blue is trying their hardest to make sure that the laws and the things that we think about in this country benefit everyone, because not everybody's rich, not everybody's middle class, not everybody's poor. We all need something from this government. This government is supposed to be for all of us, right? And I feel like
Bipartisans.
right. And I feel like we've gotten to a place where that is just not the case. And it's really sad to see, and even like
Hmm.
I have some of my white friends who are fighting this fight because it's 92% is sitting this one out, right? And they're like, "Yo, like we don't even talk to our family no more
Hmm.
because
Mm.
they are so against them standing up for what's right because they've gotten so blinded by make America great again versus the other side." And it's like, first of all, America was never great for anybody that looks like the three of us sitting here.
Tiffany said
So,
it.
you know what I mean? Tiffany Cross, that's her goddamn name.
I said it.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yes, that's her name. But
Tiffany
yeah, but like
Cross. Yes.
it's like but she's right, right? There's
Yep.
there's America was never great for anybody that looks like us, right? So when you choose sides like that, it does put a divide in this country because anybody that has enough sense, anybody that's done their research, anybody that's been to a black museum or done any history on the history, the true history of this country, cannot hear that slogan and not have a negative reaction to it. Like,
The
how
shift
can you do
came,
that?
you're right. The shift came after Obama because it was then that they America had to show how racist it really is. It had to.
Exactly.
Uh,
And it
a
has
black
gotten
man came in.
so
They
worse.
couldn't keep themselves. They could not keep themselves. It drove them
Well, it
crazy.
was the
And then you
nerve
go,
of
and then
to
you
go
got a
that a
nerve to
black
have a
man.
female, I mean, a nerve after having a black president to have a
Hmm.
female
That's right.
run for office next. Oh,
Yeah.
y'all done lost y'all goddamn
Yeah.
mind now.
Hmm.
Oh, hell
Yeah.
no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Cut this shit right now. Y'all done got too
That's right.
comfortable
Yep.
in the country that we stole. No,
That's right.
no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
After Jim Crow and the civil rights era, we knew racism was there, but it wasn't as in your face. It wasn't as
It was covert.
well, and it wasn't well hid. It was well hidden in the majority of our
Mm.
spaces. Well, that they just couldn't do it anymore. And that is where it became an uproar. That's when you see January 6th. That's when you see things like George Floyd. That's when you see things like the marches that had to occur and all of that. We were in a space where it was hidden, but as soon as Obama hit those bricks to the White House, they had to surface and show America just what America really is.
Mhm.
And they have been loud, getting louder and stronger, and they have been rising up and they have been uncovered. They've been showing their faces, social media. How many of us had to delete people off of our friends list because we had no idea that they even thought that way? I mean, I started deleting off because I remember the first person I deleted off of social media was it was Facebook. That was all that I was on at that moment because she was someone I went to school with, white girl, and she was in such an uproar over the Michael Vick and the dog situation and him coming to Philly. Oh my gosh, she wasn't she was giving up season tickets and burning jersey like, and I'm like, "Whoa." So I'm telling you, they have been showing themselves. They feel that they don't have to hide their feelings anymore. And they're not. And it is right in our faces. It is right in our faces. And I remember the time that Kamala Harris was asked, does she think America is racist? And the way she had to answer that question as the vice president a long time ago. I wonder if we ask her that same question today, would that answer be the same?
Oh,
No, it wouldn't.
we really need to know this great make America great again. It's really, first of all, we know that man is stealing, so he's got them deceived. But if you guys, white people, I'm gonna bring y'all to the table. Let's move up closer. Don't
So
sit
I
in the
do want to.
back.
Why I'm gonna let you I'm gonna let
Okay.
you say this, but before you say this, I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there. I'm always do it.
Yeah.
It's not all of us. It's not
Yeah.
all of them. So I just want
Yeah.
to put
No,
that
no,
out
no,
there.
no,
Whatever
no,
you about to
no.
say, wherever you
No,
about to go.
no, I'm getting ready to say something that
Okay.
I want. It's not going to be as bad as you think. I want to let you guys know that during slavery, most of the poor whites, you didn't own anything. You had no land. You had nothing. You worked for the master as we worked for the master, but you worked in a different way because you thought, okay, this job is much better than me going out there and slaving and picking cotton in a hot day. It doesn't matter. Don't get water. Don't get anything to eat until I
They
get
got
and get
paid.
whipped. Okay, so
That's they got paid.
you got
Okay.
paid
Yeah,
for
And
your
they
those were
service.
and
the
they and they
indentured
and they
servants.
and they
That's right.
applied for the position.
Okay,
Okay.
so
They were
Carry
the
on.
y'all,
indentured servants too, that owed
y'all don't
money.
understand is that this was the setup. You were never going to be rich from this.
Mm,
You were always, and this is what I'm going to just be clear about. They don't. This is a class system that was brought over from Europe. You people left Europe
Ooh.
and got on that damn Mayflower because guess what? They didn't want what? Taxation. Tea was being taxed. They didn't want that. So they brought over those same animalistic and human behavior to the United States and stole from the Indians. That's all this is. So I just want to let you know, white people, you still are no better than us in the sense that you were just a paid servant, but you were still a servant. And that's where America wants you to be at. That's what made make let's make America great again, is to get you guys riled up and start the mess that the rich don't want to touch. That's all I
Mm.
want to say to you. Think about it.
Okay. I see. I thought she was gonna go somewhere different. She surprised me. All right. Listen, she be making my heart go like this. I'm like, Lord Jesus, don't let us say nothing crazy. You did all right, weekday. I ain't mad at you right
No,
now.
I'm just being honest that if you go back in history, which they're trying to erase, you would find
Right.
out that you guys were never. Would y'all think they're gonna make it all white again? First of all, the waters are too muddy; they can't. But just to be honest with you, if you really saw your side in your side of the history books and saw where you really were at and where your family's at and where you are now, it's a telltale of exactly where they want you to be.
And I will say this, and it's probably gonna sound a little. I think I may have said this before. I don't know, but most Trumpsters we think of, and I believe are of a certain way, right?
Mhm, yeah. Hmm.
But there are some that really, I think, believe in their heart that this is still a whole Republican, Democrat. This is the policies I believe in. This is the policies you believe in. Democracy that we're living in. There are still truly some people that truly believe that and have voted for him based on that. They're not into politics. They're not into watching CNN and on the news and in the podcast and as into the political news as some of us are, right? So I truly believe that there are some that truly do vote for Republicans based on what they need and what they're hearing. You know what I mean? So if you're just getting sound bites throughout that whole election process of I'm gonna bring ad prices down, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that, and you're really not into that political world, I can almost see how some people voted for that,
Oh,
right?
you vote your interest,
Right,
you vote your
right.
Yeah.
pocket, you
And so
vote your
whether
wallet.
I think it's important to remember that there are a lot of people that are voting simply because they stand by that slogan, make America great again, meaning we know what it means, right? But then there are
Mhm.
some people
Mhm.
that truly are still voting based on their policies and their interests. And they're fucking around and finding out now.
Oh,
But
yep.
I always think it's important to just note that, especially the platform that we have. I don't want to just put everybody into this little bucket
I
and
know.
say if you
I
voted
agree.
for Trump, then you're a racist. And I mean, but you know what I mean? Like I don't want to put everybody in that bucket because I think that there are some people that really don't know enough, you know, to
Right.
know that they probably shouldn't have voted that way because that is not the best interest of this country as a whole. And the man is a liar, and what he's telling you is lies, and what his administration is telling you is lies, and that ain't gonna come to fruition. But they gonna fuck around and find out. That's the season we in. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to put that out there because I always think it's important to note that I recognize that. So
Mhm.
that's my stance on that. We gonna move
So
on.
that's her 2 cents. We're gonna let her have that 2 cents.
Listen, I mean, y'all
I'm gonna
already
leave
know
it
how
there.
I feel. Anybody that's listened to this podcast knows where I stand and how I
Yeah.
feel.
Hmm.
Um, and they know how I feel about the election results. And they know how I feel about folks that have voted for this man. But I do think that, it's important as this platform that, that I do just make that note every now and
Yeah.
then.
I understand.
They can't stand my cancer ass. I don't care.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand. I'm gonna leave it
Woo!
there.
We
I
got a
understand.
letter. We got a
Yes.
letter.
All right, let's
Okay.
get into
Yeah,
this letter
this
real
letter.
quick.
Yeah, let's move
We
on
got a
because
letter.
we didn't spend too much time on that
Now
nonsense. Now,
I hope they took V's advice and
Now
really
listen,
was
listen.
because she
I'm
had
telling
to
you,
tell you.
weekday, if this letter is stupid, don't read it. I'm not in the mood, especially after talking about this bullshit politics
okay.
shit. Don't
I,
read it if it's don't read it. Listen,
I'm gonna say
listen,
this.
skip it this year, this week.
I'm
That's
gonna
all I'm gonna
say
say.
it needs some.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Okay. That's not. I'm gonna start like that. Some OxyClean up in here. So let's get started. Okay, I'm calling it Dickcon. So
Ooh.
okay, that's what I'm saying. All right, so here we go. Aunties, I know that some of you don't have a man, but you do not have to go after mine. Okay. I'm getting ready to kick my mom's friend's ass.
Well, wait a minute. Was this to us?
Okay, I'm getting ready. Listen, didn't I say it needed some? Okay.
Start from the
I
beginning again. I'm sorry.
Okay, aunties. I know that some of you do not have a man, but you do not have to go after mine. Okay. I'm getting ready to kick my mom's friend's ass. I'm a 32-year-old female and started dating a 54-year-old male. He is one of the deacons at the church. He just recently got divorced. I was not really interested in him. He started flirting with me at the church picnic. I thought he was too old for me. We were on a few committees together at church. One day he asked me out. I told him no at first, but he kept asking me until I finally agreed to go out with him in November. We have been together ever since. Well,
Okay.
I did not realize he had dated other women at the church. One of them is my mom's friend. He said they went out once or twice, but he was not interested. She thinks differently. She has started calling and texting him. She is sending inappropriate pictures of herself to him. I confronted her and informed her that we are dating. She was furious and she started passing rumors about me to the church members.
Let
She
me
said
hit
that
the mute button. Sorry.
I am some young slut that does not know her place chasing after a man 20 plus years my senior. I have asked my mom to control her friend, but she says she is staying out of it. But she did say to me, I hope you do not get your feelings hurt. I keep asking her why she is saying that, and she says, I am grown and will have to learn on my own one day. My man, okay, told me to ignore her because she's old and alone. I want to know how to handle this since my mom is not helping. I want to throw hands at this point. So let me lift up in the chair a little bit
Ugh.
because the first thing I'm going to say is, bitch, who the fuck you think you talking to, first of all? All right. That's the first thing I wanted to. You don't worry about what kind, if I got a man or don't have a man. You're 32. And let me tell you something about Dick Con that you
Ah!
call him the Deacon. Because that's what he is. He's Dick Con and not the Deacon. He hoeing
Oh,
at the
wait.
church.
That
Wait a
deacon
minute.
is deacon.
I'm just now getting it. Hold it. Wait, like Deacon.
Listen, I got a cramp, y'all. Y'all know I'm too old to be laughing like this. Oh my
Like Deacon
god.
from the
Okay.
church, not Deacon.
Yes, Deacon. Because he's passing that dick around to everybody at the church. Girl. That grown ass woman was sending him pics because she had got some dick con. You don't know what he
And
doing
it
at
was
the
and
altar.
it was good. That
And it was
Peters was
good.
good. That blessed Peters was
Child.
real
That's
good.
that's right. So she's standing at the altar. She at the altar, kneeling at the altar while he's standing at the altar. You get my hint? That dick con was passing around. So, sweetie, your mama is trying to tell you you ain't special. You just young, right? So your stuff is young, your flower is young, right? But you don't know if that man's still getting some uh of what that old stuff is like. Because if she's sending
Vintage,
pictures, she
vintage.
she she done had some Deacon from the Deacon. Okay?
I'm blown away by that.
Okay? She done had some. So, honey, what I want to tell you, do he's not your man. He's everybody's
Nope.
man. He's
Yeah,
spreading it thin. He just found out that he could get somebody younger. But guess what, young girls, I'm going to tell y'all something because y'all think because these old men. First of all, are you going to sit and make sure he get his prostate done? Because that dick con going to run out if that prostate ain't right. So he
that
need to go
bank
get.
accounting.
Okay, are you going to wipe the slobber off his lips if something happened to him? You going to change his damn diaper, girl?
Ew, weekday.
Fall back. Fall back. He's not your man. Young. Listen. I know that it's hard to date. I was actually the person that called me is like a business associate. Me, it was just talking about like what are we doing at this big age? And I'm like, listen, I'm staying at home because these fools out here, I ain't messing with them. He's like, yeah. He said it's no place to go when you're over the age of 40 plus or 50 plus. And dating is very hard. Dating is hard for somebody that's 30 something. So that's why I see you at 32 with this man. I'm not saying you chasing this man, but you clinging on this man like he has something to promise. This man has gotten a divorce. Do you think he's ready to go and start having babies and getting
Nope.
married? No, he is
Nope.
Dick Con. Y'all need to understand what Dick Con does. He passes along to everybody. They spread it wide and they spread it high. That's what Dick Con does. He need to be careful messing with you. And because you got other things on your mind saying he my man, I'm ready to fight somebody about this man. Girl, let this go. Your mama is right. She shouldn't get involved. What you want her to tell her friend? We all have the slutty ass friend. Okay? Don't matter what
I
age they
don't.
are.
If
It
I
don't matter.
don't, does that mean I was?
Listen, you might have been a slutty ass friend. That's why you don't have any.
That's why I got married late.
Okay? I
That's
mean, so
why I got
so
married
bottom
late.
line is we all got a whole skirt hanging up in our closet. And some of us
Yeah.
put it back on when we ain't got nobody. So your dick con is out there spreading it. Okay.
That's
He is not
killing
your
me
man. He's
softly.
everybody man at that church. Every single woman at that church, he giving it to him. The other women aren't speaking up because guess what? Unlike your mama's crazy friend, who
Yeah.
she's the slutty friend. Listen, it don't matter what age you are. We all could be slutty. That's not new. That doesn't pass you. She could have got married, divorced. Her husband could be deceased. She could still go back and put her whole
Right.
skirt back on at any
Right.
point.
Right.
So let this go, girl. That's not your man. Your mama's right. Don't put your hands on that woman. Cause things could get ugly. You don't know what that woman got packing with her. She's showing pictures and shit. You don't know what else she got in her arsenal. Let this go. Miss Bookworm.
She get ready to fuck around and find out. You mess with that lady if you want. S- Listen, you're 32 years old. You're old enough to know that this man is doing his thing. Especially a church guy. Come on, like nobody done told you how church folk roll like that. Especially a fresh new deacon. Is that what you're calling?
It's Dick Con. It's community dick. That's what
I'm
this
thinking
is.
she putting a spill on the word deacon, and she said that whole time. I said, "Oh my God, she done calling him deacon and put a play on deacon." I felt, girl,
Mm,
listen,
he's
she
community dick. That's all it
go
is.
find there, go find someone else. That's always going to be my answer. Like I think that they have a little something going on, and she's not really the older woman, the mom's sister. I mean, the mom's friend. She's not about to let you go. So you get ready to fight for this old guy, another older woman, for this old head. Like you're not 32 and have. I'm pretty sure you have your choice. There's others. You don't have to date someone in the church thinking that that's who you're going to settle down with. He probably got a little bit of money. You know, she probably want a little sugar daddy. She probably wants somebody to take care of her. She probably want to be, yeah, lady, go get yourself go find somebody else. And don't be putting your hands up on nobody because you get ready to fuck around and find out. No, no, what? No, no.
So listen, I'ma just say this. Y'all know how them ladies are in the church.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say that y'all ain't right, because y'all right. That deacon is out there sowing his royal oats and has been enjoying it. He done found this little young thing. So now he tapping into that side, because now he like, oh wait, the youngins liking me too, right? So now
Yes.
he into this young thing, and they probably are going together. They probably are steady. But
But
y'all
he
know
loving
how
the
these
attention.
he is loving the attention, and
Boom.
y'all know how these aunties are up in this church house. You think that you gonna be with this deacon, and he probably fine. That's why you with him, and he probably got some good, what you call it, deacon, deacon.
Well, it's
And
he
so,
probably dress fly.
Hmm.
and y'all know how these aunties feel about a church man. So you already know they coming for your man. So you need to make a decision on whether or not you okay with all the extras. And he probably dipping out on you. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that this man is faithful. I don't know him personally, but just based on my assumptions and what I know to be true from, situations at the church house, he probably dipping out on you. So you just need to
Daddy
decide
is
whether
no
or not.
Zaddy.
Zaddy.
Zaddy is stepping, honey.
Yes. So you need to decide whether or not this is gonna be your man, your man, your man. And if it is, you're gonna have to take what comes with the territory. But you putting your paws on that woman, you gonna fuck around and find out. Because let me tell
And
you
you
one
look
thing
like a
about us
fool.
aunties, okay?
You look like a fool.
No. No, don't do that. And then you're gonna lose your man, because remember, he's still a deacon at the church. So you got to play your role. You can't be
And
out here fighting members of the church.
and
And the
she gonna
deacon
be
gonna
out of
be
a
okay
church
with
home
that.
in a minute. She gonna
You
be
ain't
out of
gonna
a
have no
church
church
home.
home. You ain't gonna have no dick man. You ain't gonna have none of that.
Mm-mm.
So now keep
And
your
you
hands
might
to
be lumped
yourself.
up. And you might get your ass lumped up.
Yeah.
And
Messing
if
with
it's
the
an auntie,
elderly.
like that, like me, after I lump you up, I'm gonna call the cops
That's right.
and claim elder abuse. So I'm
That's what
just
I was gonna say. After I stomp your ass,
so
you coming for
and I can stop your ass without going to jail, because that's
me?
you touched me
That's right.
first. So I'm gonna stop your
Yeah.
ass, and then I'm gonna call the cops and be like, "Yo, yeah, I'm gonna want to put some elder
Pressing
abuse over
charges
here."
Let me
and a
let me
civil
just tell
suit
you.
to follow.
Now, let me tell you something, young girl, and I'm the single one out of the crowd, and I will just say this to you: I ain't never fought about no dick. There's plenty of that shit out there.
Not
I
at this big age. I mean,
not at this
maybe when
big
I'm
you
age.
telling you.
No,
maybe
I
Not
when you
even
now,
was
at
young and
32.
dumb.
now,
But
Not
not
even
no,
at
at
32.
32.
Listen, 32 is a big age too. That's what I mean. Not at this
yeah,
big
Yeah.
age.
no,
Meaning her
Nope.
big age
yeah,
and
Oh
our big
yeah.
age. You are too
yeah.
So
damn
bad.
old
Okay,
to be
well,
fighting over a
that's
man.
right. I mean, if some 20
Period.
something, maybe, but I mean, I ain't never fought over no man, because guess what? There's a plentiful of dick. If that's what we're talking about, it's plentiful. I mean, the only reason why I ain't married because I ain't want to marry none of them no goods. But there's plenty of dick to pass around. Listen,
Honey, you can
I
always have friends with benefits. That's
yeah,
neither here nor there.
no, that's your
To find
business.
you another sugar daddy. It ain't
That's
got to
right.
be the
That's it.
deacon at the church. There's
That
plenty
zaddy,
of them.
No.
that
Come
zaddy
hang
is
with me.
not
Come hang
good.
with me in Atlanta, girl. I'll help you out.
Go to a cigar lounge. go to Home Depot on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Lowe's too.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Get out there at 6 o'clock when the real damn the contractors out there, and they looking all dirty and everything. You be thinking, baby, I just gonna take that baby a shower and we can get it on.
That's
Blow out my
it. I
damn back,
mean,
baby.
yes, that's where they at. I
That's where they
mean,
at.
sheesh.
Shit. Listen,
Wawa in the morning getting
go
coffee
to the
before
sports
the
bar.
day.
Listen, during football season, you go to the sports bar. Shoot.
It's
Listen,
March
I
Madness
Cigar
right now,
lounge.
girl. Go
yeah,
find
March
you a
Madness. That's
go
Yes.
right.
find you a
Yup.
sports lounge. You'll
That's
find
right.
you a
Yup.
listen.
A
No,
cigar bar. Go find you something.
Yeah.
but
This
no,
ain't it.
no matter what you do, there's gonna always be somebody that wants your man, right? So you just gonna have to decide what
That's the
you gonna
truth.
put up with and what you're not gonna put up with. And I ain't gonna say your man cheating, but if I was a betting woman,
Community
there's
day.
Somebody will
there's
always.
a reason why that woman felt comfortable enough
That's it. I
to
mean,
do what she
someone will
did.
always, 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 you're so right. It's always going to want your man. It's all in,
Hmm.
is your man going to want her back?
That's
Yep,
it. Because
yep.
that's his
That's all.
problem. It's not
That's
her
it.
problem. It's his
But
That's
problem.
it.
putting your hands on people at this age, nieces and nephews, is called a what? A felony.
Assault.
Ass-
A and B.
Assault.
Assault and
Mm-hmm.
Assault
battery.
and battery, and
Yep.
you know, it can end badly. So no,
Yep.
I do not
Oh, it
ever
will.
condone violence,
No, I don't.
especially no violence over no man.
No.
Over some
Mm-mm.
man
Job
that you're
bye.
not married to.
No.
That you probably won't even be with 6 months from now.
No.
She's gonna be writing us in 6 months like, Aunties, y'all was right.
That's right. My mama, that's
You're
why
not
she
even.
didn't tell me. Your mama
And
is
that's
just
why
not getting involved.
your mother already know.
Yeah.
Your mother would have told you what we telling you, but she don't want to hurt your feelings. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm glad you wrote in so that we can tell you, Mama,
Child,
we got your back.
That's
Okay,
right.
you
from
ain't
one
Mama's
auntie
lying.
to
okay.
another, we
That's
got your
right.
back.
You're back, girl. That's right. You don't have to tell her. She going, as my grandmother said, I can show you better than I can tell
Better
you.
than I can tell you.
So,
All right, ladies. Well, let's go
all
ahead and
right.
wrap this up. Thank you for this dialogue. Like, yo, we was really off the cuff today because this is not what
Yes.
we was gonna talk about, y'all. Okay,
No.
Hey,
Yeah.
it bees that way
it bees
Yeah.
sometimes.
that way sometimes,
Gotta
and we've
mix
been
it up.
trying to stray away from politics. But listen, this country right here,
The
Not
clown
what's
car
going
is
on this
getting a
week.
lot. It's a bunch of clowns in that damn clown car. I just wish they
it's
stopped
hard to
coming
not.
out.
It's hard not to talk about it. It just really is.
Yeah.
So we needed to get it all off our chest. So we done that. So next
Yeah.
week we can come back and we can get back to our regular shenanigans. But no, I definitely enjoyed this conversation. A lot of gems were dropped. So nieces and nephews, I hope y'all was paying attention and picking up what we was dropping.
Mhm.
So if you have a question you need us to answer or some advice you want us to give you, please feel free to send us an email at 3auntiesandamic@gmail.com or send us a DM at any of our social media platforms. 3 Aunties and a Mic. The three is spelled out THREE. Um, like us, follow us on social media, on your favorite streaming podcast, so you don't miss a single episode, on YouTube. Um, all right, ladies, I love y'all. Until next time, peace and love.
Love you, nieces and nephews.
Smooches.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.